Has anyone ever told you that your career will not be defined by what you know alone, but by who knows you, who trusts you, and who is willing to advocate for you when opportunity appears? Well, today we're talking about how leaders intentionally build relationships that strengthen our influence, expands our opportunities, and sustain our leadership journeys. Come on, let's get this conversation started. Welcome back to Transformation Station Leadership Podcast, where we equip leaders to grow with clarity, confidence, and purpose. I'm your host, Adrienne Benton, and today we're diving into a leadership skill that quietly shapes careers, opens doors, and strengthens influence. That's right, we're talking about professional networking and relationships at work. I'm super excited for you to meet our guest today. I know you're going to love her. So listen, before we get started with this amazing conversation, I just want to remind you of a few things. Here we go. Number one, every Monday and Wednesday, we have our vital conversations. If you have missed even one episode of season one or season two or season three, make sure you get caught up and join us every Monday and Wednesday as we have these vital conversations. And then I also want to remind you, listen, Lead Her Shift. This is our second conference. We had our first one in January, Lead Her Shift. It was amazing. Over 400 of you signed up, registered. We had a great time. Well, right around the corner now, April 13 to 16 is the second conference, Lead Her Shift Virtual Adjustment. And what we're talking about is the fact that things are going to happen. Mistakes will happen. Challenges will come. When mistakes happen and challenges come, that is not a sign to quit. It simply is telling you maybe you just need to adjust the crown, right? Just have a little adjustment. So we're going to spend 4 days together. These are all of our amazing strategists that will join us. If you have not registered, I need you to impact.com right now. Go there right now and register so that you can attend this virtual conference. I know you're ready to dive into this conversation today. So let me tell you a little bit about our guest. Well, our guest is Morag Barrett, and she is on a mission to transform workplace connections. She's proving that success in business is not just about what you know, it's about who you know and how you connect. Morag has helped more than 1,500 leaders across 20 countries transform their workplace relationships from sources of stress into catalysts for success. I am absolutely thrilled to welcome you today, Morag. Welcome to Transformation Station. It's great to have you with us today.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Absolutely. Well, listen, let's get this started. So, as I was preparing for our talk today, I was thinking to myself that, professional relationships, Parag, this tends to be one of the most valuable assets that as leaders that we can build. When we have healthy professional relationships, you can see in a workplace that alignment is created, right? Visibility happens more naturally, and there's trust. You can sense it when you go and you come amongst a team where there's trust. So I want to start off by asking you this question. Why are professional relationships at work just as important as technical skills for career growth?
Ooh, well, I'm going to answer your question with a question.
Yes.
So think about an achievement from last year, something you're proud of. Tell us a little bit about what it is and what makes you proud as you reflect back on that achievement.
Okay. So my team, we found ourselves in a hard spot where our manpower was reduced. And
Mhm.
it was dependent upon a small number of people to get a very large job done. But somehow or another, I think because of the foundations that have been built, everybody just kind of stepped in and filled in the gaps, and we were able to still meet our commitments. So super proud about that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know if it's pure luck, but I've asked that question of thousands of leaders, and it's interesting how often they go straight to what they were asked to deliver, which is the results. But the first words out of your mouth were my team.
Yes.
And I think that is the secret here, is that even as a solopreneur, when I first launched Sky Team 19 years ago, and it was me, myself, and I, but the reality was my success was not just down to my individual efforts. It was down to the family who supported me in those early days. It was with the relationships with the clients that I was nurturing. It was done in partnership with other colleagues who may be running their own businesses or still in a corporate role, who were cheering me on, giving me feedback on my ideas and my work. So that is the secret, that success in life is fueled by connection, but success in business, that is powered by relationships every single day.
I love that. Here on Transformation Station, we always give our listeners and viewers an opportunity to pause and to reflect. Already, Morag is sharing some goodness with us. So I'm inviting everybody right now. That question that she asked me, go ahead and ask yourself. And in the comments right now, put your own answer. We want to hear from you today. Share with us what's resonating with you. As I was thinking about this, a best practice that I thought about that we could share with our leaders is this: build relationships before you need them by consistently engaging, contributing, and communicating with others across the organization. Okay, I see that sparks something. So tell me, what are you thinking?
Well, it sparks two things: a flashback in not necessarily the best way of my early career, because I valued independence. I would get those results through my own efforts. I thought, my boss would tell me what to do and I'd go away and do it with a minimum of supervision. But as I already shared in answering your first question, I came to realize that results are better delivered with others. And so that whole team sport and collaboration matters. And if I fast forward to today, how we manifest that at Sky Team with my group is that we start every single team meeting with what we call ripples and joys. And ripples and joys are an opportunity for us to reconnect, because we all work virtually. We're all traveling every week. And so this is an opportunity to come together and celebrate. And a ripple is a result, a project, a conversation that we've had, something that we've moved forward. That's the ripple effect. And the joy is anything personal or professional that has literally made us smile. So, for example, last week, Eric and I had the opportunity to travel to the Dominican Republic to deliver a leadership program for a client there. Firstly, the ripple is it was a powerful day. And then the joy, well, I've never been to the Dominican Republic, and I got to hear the ocean. And living in Colorado, there is no coastline here, and I miss the sea. So ripples and joys, those few minutes before we get down to business, where we can actually connect on a human level, is so powerful in doing what you've just described, is investing in our relationships before we need them, before the invariable hits the fan.
I love this. Ripples and joys. All right, leaders. We want to know what you're thinking right now. Share with us, how is this resonating with you? Because, Morag, the next question I want to ask you is this: what are the most common mistakes that leaders make when it comes to nurturing our professional relationships? Talk to us.
Assuming that they will just happen. Instead of sitting down and having a conversation. It might be like you and I. Well, Adrian, we're now working together on this project. The mistake leaders make is, well, you and I have been doing this for a number of years. We'll just work it out. And we will, because we're smart, independent women. We are going to work it out. But at what cost? We may step on each other's toes. There may be miscommunication, misunderstanding, all for the sake of sitting down for 10 minutes and saying, tell me your story. What got you to this point? With this particular project, have you faced something similar before? How would you approach it? What do you see my role as? So that I can do the reciprocal. Because when we have that shared understanding, that foundation from which to build, we can get to high performance together so much more quickly.
Yes. Yes, 1000%. I'm going to ask you to take us just a little bit deeper on this question, right? Because I know that there are leaders that are listening and watching right now, and they're saying, well, I know I've made some mistakes along the way. Talk to us a little bit more about some of the common ones that we tend to make as leaders.
So assuming
Yes.
that others know their role on the team or their next steps. We mistake talking for communicating. And so even asking what are your next steps? What's the first thing that you think we or you should do next? Will allow you to either confirm, yes, they have got this, or no, there is a misunderstanding or a gap that needs to be closed. So as leaders, asking just one more question to clarify and align expectations is powerful. And going with that, and I've had to learn this as well, the power of the pause.
Yes.
Because as an extrovert, silence is a space to be filled. I will use the excuse, I need to talk to think. But for introverts, silence is a place to gather those thoughts, to sift through them. And so as leaders, knowing when to allow all of us just to sit in the silence so that those thoughts that either we're articulating or others are processing have a chance to just settle. For us to then think, oh, but I don't quite understand this, or that didn't make sense. And then say, maybe I should say something. And all of that may happen quickly in your own head, but we need to give space for others to both hear, process, consider, decide whether they have the courage to ask a question and then ask a question. And if you can sit in that silence just a nanosecond longer, I promise you're going to get juicy insights that otherwise you're going to miss.
And I've seen that happen time and time again in my own, when I'm moving full speed ahead, I tend to have more questions. I tend to feel like things are more unclear, as opposed to when I just sit back. And I've learned, even like with my own team, when I sit back and just listen, when I listen and watch, I'm like, oh, like you get a whole nother understanding of what's real, not just what is on the surface, but what's going on below the surface. And for leaders, that situational awareness is important. And I think it also helps us to develop and build psychological safety for our teams. And I wanted to share this quote that says, professional relationships are not built in moments of need. They're built in moments of consistency.
Bingo.
And leaders, that's exactly what Morag is talking to us about. She's talking about intentional choices and decisions that we make every single day that helps to build the health. So Morag, on that note, how can leaders create environments where healthy networking and collaboration naturally thrives? But before you answer that question, I think a lot of us struggle as leaders with that word healthy, right? Healthy networking, because sometimes in our minds, we feel like as a leader, we have to force the networking to happen. But how can we build an environment where healthy networking just is naturally a part of the culture?
So there's two parts to the response. One is, as an individual human being, whether you have a title of leader or whether you're a leader at a different leadership level, I mean, we're all leaders. So are you doing it for you? And I'll show you on here. Here are my 6 priorities for this year written on my strategic plan, aka a 3x3 post-it note. And number 2, friends and family. So it's, did I do my best to spend time with friends and family today? And it's a simple yes or no. I either did or I didn't. My calendar will show, because I actually color code my calendar to match those 6 priorities. So if relationships and investing in your network is important to you as a leader, then you need to prioritize it. You need to put it on your calendar. You may need to make it a daily habit. And it could be as simple as, if you've got 5 minutes between meetings, or on your commute, if you are somebody who commutes, or at the end of the day, just grab your phone, scroll your contacts, ping, and just send that message that says, hey, I was thinking of you today. Hope you had a good day. That is enough to make a deposit. So part 1 is, as a leader, make sure we're doing it for ourselves.
Okay.
Part 2 as a leader is to create that consistent space where who we are and how we relate is seen as important as what we do and how we organize to deliver those results. And Ripples and Joys is our way of doing it at Sky Team. It is on the agenda, and if we're short of time, we don't cut Ripples and Joys. We'll cut the business agenda, because we've learned that investing in our relationships as a team not only makes the good days brighter, but it means that we are better positioned to navigate the more turbulent days.
I love that. I love that. You know, it's interesting. We had a team meeting today, and today was the birthday of one of our staff members. And we started off the meeting surprising. I don't think they realized that we knew that it was their birthday. And as opposed to going in, and we just started the meeting off singing happy birthday. It just totally caught them off guard, but it added a sense of joy to the room. And I noticed that everybody was just contributing and engaging for the entire meeting, which actually went a little bit longer than it normally does, but they were engaging in a whole different way.
I love that. And when we were meeting in a traditional office where we all came together in 3 dimensions, some of that happened organically. I'd bump into you at the water cooler. I'd see you at the elevator, or as we were coming in and out of the building. What I've noticed since the pandemic and with the increase of hybrid working, and I know I've done this, we can all do fake perky for 30 minutes on a Zoom call and then hang up and go, oh my goodness. And again, as leaders, if we're not paying attention, if we're not creating a space, you may never know that I am stressed, anxious, close to burnout, unless you go that extra mile. And on that note, I have learned that we can create deep, meaningful connections through the camera when we are intentional, when we are present, and when we are consistent in how we show up.
Yes. Yes, I love that. So can you explain the ally mindset and what makes it different from just being nice at work?
Ooh, so many layers. Well, it came out. So this is my first book, Cultivate the Power of Winning Relationships. And I wrote it because, having spent 15 years in finance, where everybody came with a brand new idea that they were going to get rich on, and here's the spreadsheet to show it. The difference between successful businesses and teams and those that were unsuccessful was the quality and depth of their professional relationships. So I wrote Cultivate to explain the relationship dynamics we see at work. And one of those relationship dynamics is the ally, the best friend at work, the person that you turn to on the good days to celebrate your wins, but also the person you turn to BMW, bitch, moan and whine when things don't go well. And the thing about an ally is that is a relationship that isn't just a cheerleader. They're not just nice to be around. They're kind. This goes to your second part of your question. So kind means that they'll give you the kick in the pants when you need it, that they celebrate your success with abundance and generosity, not with jealousy and resentment. And so unless we have at least one ally at work, and Gallup research, our own research from the Ally Mindset Profile has shown this, results will suffer. You don't get to psychological safety unless you know and I know that we have each other's back, i.e. that we can speak our truth, sometimes inelegantly, but in doing so, increase our shared understanding and success. And so The ally mindset profile built on that concept. And in our book, You, Me, We, Why We All Need a Friend at Work and How to Show Up as One, we talk about the 5 practices that from our research underpin what it takes to be seen as an ally, but also to have allies at work.
This is important.
So,
yeah. This is really fruitful. It's amazing. And later on, we're going to share with our listeners and viewers on how they can get the book and really go deeper with this. So let me ask you this. How can someone figure out their personal ally mindset and what they can do to strengthen their professional reputation?
Well, the first step, and it's completely free, is to take your ally mindset profile, contribute to our research. We've had more than 1,200 leaders who've taken the ally mindset profile from around the world. And you can do that at SkyeTeam, SKYE team.cloud/YouMeWe. So take it and you'll get your personal report immediately. It will talk about the 5 practices and it will give you some first tips. But failing that, there are 3 questions that you could ask your colleagues, not necessarily all at the same time, but over a period of time that will give you similar answers.
Okay.
Number 1 is, what's going well? What am I doing that's helping you to be successful? Number 2 is, what's not going well? i.e., how am I making work more difficult than it needs to be? And number 3, what's one thing I could do to help you or us to be more successful? Now, sometimes inexperienced leaders will say to me, yeah, but I can't possibly ask because I've got no budget. And what if they ask for the moon and I can't give them the moon?
Okay.
Well, it's a great question, but here's the thing. If you don't ask, chances are your colleague is going to think, well, that you don't care. And so they start to filter the information that they're showing. If you ask, then it shows that you do care about their success, their sense of belonging on the team. And even if you can't deliver, at least now you know. And you can say, well, I'm sorry, I can't give you the moon, but I can give you this.
Yes.
And that increases understanding and allows us to move forward together. So what's working? What's not working? What's one thing I can do? Those are 3 powerful questions that can help close the disconnection gap.
And I love the fact that you're causing us to look towards having shared wins, shared responsibilities in the workplace, keep creating a culture where it's not I versus you, I versus them, it's we, us. That's phenomenal. So as we turn the corner on this masterclass of a conversation, I want to ask you this. What's one small change any leader could make tomorrow to start being or creating workplace connections? And if you don't mind, especially really tough, like this is easier many times in my mind for the extrovert, right? But what about that introvert? Or what about that leader that is still learning their job, but they're leading, right? What's one small change that any leader could make starting tomorrow to start being or creating workplace connections?
Oh, I have 3 ideas and more already forming. Tell us. Well, number 1, buy the book.
Yes.
There you go. Either book will get you started. Number 2, give yourself the grace and space that you need. So if you're realizing that you don't currently have an ally at work, then choose one person, one friendly face on the next Zoom call to lean in and just say, hey, I know we've been working together for 3 years and I've seen you every Friday on this Zoom call, but I'm curious to learn more about your role and what you do in the organization. I don't know, break the ice. Say you were listening to this podcast and Morag said I should do this, so I'm doing it. Blame me. But set up a 15-minute coffee. And that is the first baby step to starting to create ally relationships. And then the third is, at the end of the day, the grace and space for you. Are you connected to yourself? Are you your own ally? Did you do your best? Because if the answer is yes, then whether your best is a 2 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, go you. Because tomorrow you get to repeat or to build on that.
Yes.
So buy the book.
Yes.
Set up a call and start building one ally relationship. And then at the end of the day, just ask yourself, did I do my best?
Yes.
And if you did, let all the other doubt and trash talk go and repeat the next day.
What an encouraging way to end the conversation today. I feel inspired, and I know I'm quite sure that our listeners and viewers feel inspired as well. So if we could just talk one more time, I know that there are leaders that want to buy the book and find out more. What's the best ways to engage with you?
So you can find me on LinkedIn. The advantage of my name is there are not many Morag Barretts. You can find me at SkyeTeam, SKYE team.com. And I am the one who replies to all the messages. So just reach out, stay in touch, and I look forward to our second conversation.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Transformation Station, you know that we always like to support our guests. So I'm going to invite you one more time. Take a look at the link. It's here on the screen. You also see the various links and ways you can get a hold of Morag in the description box. Click on all of them. We want to support Buy the Book. And also, I'm really going to invite you to reach out to Morag and let her know that you saw, that you heard this episode. Let her know what resonated with you and go deeper, because we believe that the community that continues to learn together grows together. Morag, it has been amazing to have you here today. Thank you for adding so much value to our leadership community today.
It's been my pleasure.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Well, listen, I know that I got to go back and watch this on the replay. And as you reflect on today's conversation, consider the relationships you are building in your current environment, because leadership growth is not only shaped by skill, but by connection, by trust, and intentional investment in others. This week, I'm inviting you to take one intentional step to strengthen a professional relationship. Reach out, express appreciation, invest in the connection, because leadership grows through relationship. And if this episode has added value to you, which I know that it has, I'm inviting you right now to share this episode with another leader in your network. Matter of fact, share it with 2 who are committed to growing intentionally. Don't forget to subscribe to Transformation Station Leadership Podcast so that you don't miss one episode every single week. Well, until next time, remember, leadership is not built alone in isolation. It is built through the relationships that you nurture, the trust that you earn, and the people that you empower along the way.